Good afternoon. I'm Jim Craner, 2012 fellow, and I had the good fortune to work in the city of Santa Cruz this year. As a former Chicagoan who did 10 Februaries in Chicago, I was not too eager to return there and was very happy to be in Santa Cruz. I'm going to tell you a story today about open data, and we're, in this audience, pretty familiar with data. It fills our folders and our filing cabinets. It lurks in unapproved access databases on people's desktops. And it exists in the data center in exabyte-sized data silos, curated by little fairies named Oracle and SQL and DB2. So some days, I know for some people in the audience, we might wonder who to blame for this. And personally, I blame this guy, Ben Franklin. He's an inventor, philosopher, statesman, and we kind of consider ourselves the intellectual heirs to Ben Franklin's legacy as the first American hacker. As a postmaster and a librarian, Benjamin Franklin was sort of like the CIO of colonial America. And actually, the 1750 edition of Poor Richard's Almanac contained the first American demographic data, as it was known then, political arithmetic. So it's kind of like the precursor to data.gov, now having almost 400,000 data sets available to the public. So cities are usually the largest holder of data about geography, businesses, and the people that make up a community. And we've seen a large movement, even the people in this room, of cities moving to make that data available, to be visualized or analyzed or integrated into applications. And there's a lot of philosophical reasons for that, but there's some immediate cost-benefit justifications as well on the practical side. In Santa Cruz, our IT leadership realized that by integrating open data standards into the procurement cycle, we could ensure greater compatibility between new systems later on down the line. And that's a pretty important goal, obviously. Here at CfA, open data is obviously instrumental in what we're trying to do to partner with cities and transform how they use technology to serve their citizens. So Santa Cruz, aka Surf City, Peter Coate and my colleague Ruthie told you a little bit about it today. Santa Cruz is a city that knows data. It's just south of Silicon Valley, and Santa Cruz was actually the first US city to be recognized for using predictive policing software, resulting in a significant drop in property crime. Last year, the city passed a strategic technology plan, including this open data policy. This demonstrated a commitment to leveraging technology across the entire city government. We saw that same commitment every day we went into City Hall to work with our colleagues there. And this sort of high-level support is absolutely critical to ensuring the success of an open data project. We also wanted to get buy-in across City Hall, so we prepared department-specific handouts for each department head outlining the types of data they may want to consider liberating, as well as innovative applications that other cities were building on similar types of data. And at CfA, we're not just sitting down to write code on the first day. We worked extensively with our counterparts in Santa Cruz on policy and process to support the open data initiative into the future. Once we actually decided on a platform, going forward with a platform, we had to decide between building our own homegrown solution from scratch, buying an off-the-shelf product, or borrowing an open source product that could be customized. We ended up going with the last option, which I'll show you in a minute. We evaluated features as well as initial and ongoing support costs and ease of use for city employees and end users. So launching this week, based on the CCAN data portal from the Open Knowledge Foundation, is data.cityofsantacruz.com. We're starting off with over 50 data sets largely collected from the city, as well as a few from state, county, and other federal resources as well. CCAN has a lot of features that we need in Santa Cruz out of the box. In the browser, the ability for users to sort, search, filter, as well as to map data and provide built-in dynamic graphs and charts. All data on the site is accessible via a REST API, and all data can also be downloaded as well. For instance, we worked with the GIS coordinator, Rich Westfall, to generate KML files of important geographic data so those could be used in external applications. This is actually a map of all the bike lanes and bike trails in greater Santa Cruz. So it's important to work together. Residents in your city don't really care if it's the city or the county that's doing the health inspections. They just want to know if the local takeout place on the corner is safe to eat. They don't care that your school district was actually instituted by a joint powers agreement in 19 whatever. They just want to know which elementary school their kid's going to go to next fall. So it's important for us to work together at all levels of government to provide this type of solution. The federal government's sort of taking the lead with the new cities.data.gov initiative. Santa Cruz hopes to be the first non-Socrata city to have our data federated into this new initiative. So your city or your county can seed an open data ecosystem with some shapefiles or some bus schedules, but you really need to engage the community as much as you're producing, CSV files or shapefiles. In Santa Cruz, we identified a lot of different groups that are particular targets for engagement. The bicycling community is interested in bike maps. Environmentalists are interested in the monarch butterfly habitat maps. So as we move from just publishing data one way, we've got new applications like Textizen and local data that are creating sort of a two-way information flow. So we're not just bringing together different levels of government, we're bringing the citizens back into the mix as well. So as we kind of bring this together, what would Ben Franklin think about all this? If Ben Franklin were here today, what would he say? Help, let me out of this box. Sorry, it's an old joke. I think what we're doing at Code for America, especially the work we do around open data efforts, is really fulfilling Benjamin Franklin's legacy of innovation, collaboration, and sharing together for the greater good of our governments. I definitely want to give a shout out to my colleagues in Santa Cruz, Peter Coate, the Economic Development Coordinator, and Chris Stathis, our CTO. Without their help, we definitely wouldn't have been able to have this project as successful as it was. Thanks very much.